interesting point from, again, one of the longtime bears granted on this, that of the top 20 most watched shows on Netflix, only 6 are originals, and only one of those is actually owned by the company.
Right. I think that's the bigger picture on Netflix and all the spending that they're doing. How much of it do they really retain? With Disney coming down the pipe and AT&T doing its streaming service early next year, chances are they're holding back their content. They're not going to be licensing it to others like Netflix. So it puts them in a tougher spot. However, Netflix has a nice long runway. They've had, they've been streaming for years and years now, and people are less likely just to cut that just because new ones are coming along. Longer term, though, they need to get those sort of classics in there, the ones that people are going to be used to watching, whether it's a Seinfeld or a Friends or whatever it might be. Those things will be running out. And
Stephan, I do wonder where that leaves them. So they can continue to spend more, and hope that content, their original content, backfills the library. They said in terms of the options to combat those costs, they could raise prices, get more subscribers, or cut spending in some other ways. I mean, those aren't a lot of palatable options.
No, and look, the truth is I've been in this space for many years, and although Netflix has completely disrupted and reinvented how consumers consume content, they haven't reinvented at all the film and television making stack, which is to say the sourcing and assembling and financing of that content. In fact, they've been overspending to try to win over talent and win over projects, and the writing was on the wall. It was pretty obvious that this was going to come back and bite them in the ass eventually. We've known that, and it's okay, because now they're going full circle. Now they're figuring out what most of the old school studios have known for a long time, which is to be competitive and be cash efficient. You're going to have to pick and choose what to make, and generally they're going to want to make bigger things that are more franchisable and let the market fill the rest, which is the reason why companies like Slated exist to begin with.
Right, you're an online film finance marketplace, just so people know. So Netflix is looking, to do a little bit of the Disney tentpole thing, and like you've said, they've signed Guillermo del Toro, Ryan Murphy, Shonda Rhimes to mega deals. I would say the difference between Netflix and the studios, though, is they have a monthly subscription fee that they're picking up from people all the time. I mean, isn't that a fundamental difference? And why hasn't the stock price or the company suffered yet from all of these problems people have described all along?
Well, this is a long time coming. Now, first of all, let's all agree, everything is moving into a subscription model, including the theater chains, which are all starting to roll out their unlimited usage for a fixed monthly fee. So everyone's getting into the business of how do you maximize the lift of new subscribers and minimize the churn. At the end of the day, they all want great content, whether it is theatrical, because everybody wants to get out of the house at some point to go to the theater, or whether it's a series, which is like a mini franchise for streaming. At the end of the day, they all need to get that content. They need to get there efficiently. And the only way you can really do that ultimately is you can't get all your talent in-house, because you have to overpay to lock them down. The old studio model failed.
Right, from the 30s or whatever instead, it was, the 40s, yeah.
Yeah, no, so what happened is the market, the reason why the independent film sector blew up is because most of the great creative talent, the up-and-coming talent, they're free agents. They're out there trying new and experimental things. So to assemble films or TV series efficiently, you need an open marketplace. And so we've already become the largest supplier of film content in the world in an online marketplace. We've had over 250 films get released theatrically and streaming and so forth. And even Netflix has ended up acquiring projects that were developed and listed on Slated. So I think the future is very much an open competitive marketplace. And smart streamers like Netflix are going to come in and bid and try to be nimble to acquire good content.
And the costs are only the content costs are only going to go up, right? Like, so we saw The Office, NBC Universal, they basically, they're going to keep it for themselves for their streaming service. They actually, you think just because they own it that it's just ours, it's going to be streaming. They actually, it went to auction, it won, Netflix lost on that. So even for the things you own, you still have to price them. There's profit participants, they need their end on it. So it's going to be expensive even if it's sitting in your library to bring it to streaming. So it's just only going to go higher.
Yeah.